Hey everyone, and welcome. When we think about haunted locations, creepy old places spring to mind. Certainly not high-tech, bustling buildings that have people coming and going all day long. Well, today we're going to delve into the haunted tales that come from Heathrow Airport in London, a place that expects 83.8 million people to pass through its doors in 2024 alone. When you think about it though, is it surprising that an airport might be haunted? There are many mixed emotions when travelling by plane, fear of flying or of heights. Then you may be feeling upset as you say goodbye to a loved one. But on the other side of the coin, people get to visit new places and can be filled with wonder and excitement. A real mixed bag of emotions, you might say, and maybe the perfect mixture for anyone who loses their life here. There are many stories about ghosts being witnessed at this world-famous airport, from the man with the missing briefcase to a ghost who seems to haunt the VIP lounge and the historic spirit of highwayman Dick Turpin. The story told most often is the man with the missing briefcase. On a cold, foggy night in March of 1948, a Douglas D3 plane already knew that they were having technical problems as they approached London Airport, as it was called back then, and warned the control tower that they would likely need to make an emergency landing. But maybe due to the severity of the fog, things didn't go as planned. The Western Morning News reported on the tragedy on March 3rd, 1948, with the headline, 19 die in London airport crash. Plane nosedives and bursts into flames. Apparently the plane, operated by the Sabina Company, had been flying over Brussels when they warned that they were having issues and may need to perform an emergency landing. The airport rushed doctors, nurses, firefighters, ambulances and other trained personnel to the landing area. But sadly, what they were left to battle was way beyond their control. The flames at the crash site were too intense. One man named Harold James Bentley, who was just coming on duty for the evening, was proven to be a real hero as he threw his own safety to the side and dived into the still burning craft, dragging out a passenger. Another airport employee called Angus Brown followed Harold outside and reported hearing the devastation coming from inside the plane, as passengers were heard screaming as they desperately tried to unbuckle their seatbelts while the flames engulfed them. A truly horrific way to die. The newspaper stated there was a thick fog when the aircraft crashed. The fire service sent 6 appliances to the scene. 3 rescued passengers were taken to Hillingdon County Hospital, where it was stated that 2 were very badly injured. The fog was also hindering the firefighters, as it made battling the raging fire more difficult as smoke entwined with it. Ultimately, 3 crew members and 17 out of 22 passengers died that night. When the flames eventually burned out, there was very little of the plane left. Just a small part of the wing and tail remained. The interior of the craft was a gutted out skeleton. About an hour after the crash, firemen were said to be knee deep in foam and mud as they searched for any remaining bodies, all done by the headlights of the ambulances and fire engines. But one part of the story not covered by any newspapers is that while all the confusion was taking place, a man wearing a pinstripe suit and bowler hat was seen searching the area. When asked if he was okay, he replied that he was searching for his briefcase. Thinking nothing of it, the fire crew went back to their work, but were left horrified as they soon came across the body of the man they'd just seen. Since then, there have been numerous sightings of this man's ghost on the runway, still searching for his briefcase. I would seriously love to know what he had inside this case that caused him to be so distressed he was tormented by its loss, even in death. In 1970, the airport's radar office picked up a signal which resembled a person on the runway. Immediately, thinking it was a trespasser causing trouble, the police and fire department was sent to the site, but there was no one there. The runway was clear. The radar office couldn't understand this, as the figure was still there. In fact, whoever it was standing right next to the police and fire crew. So, guided by the radar office, the authorities continued searching the area, but still, no one could be found. Now, one of the things that people enjoy when travelling is knowing that everything is done. The packing, getting to the airport on time and getting rid of the suitcases. That just leaves time to relax, peruse the stores and maybe grab a bite to eat. For those lucky enough to travel VIP, there is a lounge at Heathrow Airport which will cater to your needs, adding a touch of glamour to your wait. In this area though, visitors and staff have witnessed a man in a grey suit walking around the lounge as if he's checking out what beverages are available. The thing is, This man is only seen from the waist down, so he is just a walking pair of trousers. No one is sure about his identity, and let's be honest, it's not like facial recognition is going to work in his case. Whenever anybody approaches his ghost though, he will fade away before their eyes like a mist. What a way to start your vacation. During the 1700s, Dick Turpin was a real problem for law enforcement. Born on September 21st, 1705, this English highwayman was known for crimes like poaching, burglary, horse theft and murder. In 1739, he was finally arrested while staying at an inn and was sentenced to death by hanging. This was carried out on April 7, 1739. He was 33 years old. But due to his life as a criminal and the vast distances he travelled in his lifetime, there are several locations which are said to be haunted by this infamous man, and one of them is Heathrow Airport. People have reported numerous times a man dressed as a highwayman in the main terminal, while also making strange noises at people like barking or howling. You may think, oh come on now, this is probably a man dressed up and causing mischief. But when people approach the figure, he will disappear before their eyes. Other people have felt his presence creeping up on them and his breath on their neck. Very creepy indeed. I bet he wishes he could have easily disappeared when the police arrested him all those years ago. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about the story of Dick Turpin's ghost. I mean, maybe it's true, but it does appear quite random. I did feel sad though for the guy who is seen walking the runway searching for his briefcase. To be still trapped in the events of that night is horrible, and I truly hope he finds peace one day. As for the walking pair of trousers, well, your guess is as good as mine. I've no idea how this man can move on, but if it involves finding the top part of his body, well, it could be tricky. What are your thoughts on these spirits, and have you heard any other paranormal stories about Heathrow Airport or experienced anything yourself if travelling through here? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed today's haunted location. And until next time, my friends, stay safe out there.